Okay everyone, firstly excuse me if I break out into a Richie Benno moment. I've got the test match going on in the background there while I'm doing this review. So what we've got here is another SS Players bat. The owner has purchased this through John O'Knight up in Brisbane. And it's got a slightly different quality camo bag than I've seen before. But there's something special about this bag anyway, which I've already sort of given hints at. So inside here you've got the beer cooler type effect going on. Keep your bat nice and cool on those hot days. It comes with a nice bat sock, which is always a sign that it's one of the higher end SS bats. And that is the bat there. Now if you take a look here, you'll see somebody's name written there and also written on the bottom here. So this is actually a bat that was made to Murali Vijay's specs. He would have had to select from it, or maybe it would have been part of a future lot for him to select from. It's got the 9000 stickers. Now as far as the willow goes, you can see that it's pretty much a grade 1. You've got a hint of heartwood running down the right hand outside edge, a little bit of speck and a little bit of wobble down the bottom here. This would be a player cleft, which means it's been selected on its performance characteristics. We've seen these types of stickers before, so no need to waffle on about those. It's got the same branding, but it doesn't have the branding on the edge, which is another indicator that it's made for a first-class cricketer. Now the other thing about this bat that's interesting, it's got this really oval handle. Can you see just how oval that is? See how thin it is on that profile, and then when we turn it, how thick it is, and it's really oval for the bottom hand, but it even extends up to being oval almost to the top up here. This is round, and it begins to be sharply oval from about here onwards, which is a bit higher than I would normally expect. So yeah, so that's a unique style. So this bat is actually in for knocking. You can see here the edge tape has also already been applied. Let's look at the specs. 41, 42 millimeter on that side, and 40.7. Actually, it's slightly smaller there. We'll measure the spine height. Okay, 66.6. So we'll just check the camera on the face. This could actually be legal. I reckon this might just fit through the gauge. It'd need a little bit of rolling on this edge, but you'd probably get that through the gauge. Massive piece of timber. You can see how it's got that players style mid-low profile, or slight mid. You can see it there, and it's got a bit of an offset going on where the spine is peaking slightly higher than the edge. Weight comes in at 295 with 40mm edge, 66mm spine. Let's just have a look at that toe. Very much a duckbill. So about 27, which is quite good. And up here at the shoulders, 14. As far as concaving goes, we've got maybe a millimetre going on, so it's really full, as you can see there, as it goes all the way through to the back. Yeah, very nice. I'm not sure what he got this for, the owner. I'll give it a tap up now. And it's just all one big massive middle, basically dies at the beak duckbill there. But yeah, she's even off middle, just pinging crazy. So very nice indeed. I like that. Yeah, I got nothing to criticise on that. Very nice. Very different profile. A little bit higher than say a typical SS profile. Very full there in the middle. Lots of wood all the way through, and it's obviously a low density cleft. I will measure the width of it just to see whether or not we've got any weight saving going on width wise. My gauge has been playing up a little bit. That's pretty fine. 108. It's nothing like 105s like we've been seeing on others. So this is basically a handmade profile. Now in the hands, I'd actually say that it probably picks up its weight. It feels like 210. There's no real weight up here at the top. There's nothing really to counterbalance. All the weight's been taken out of here, so it pretty much picks up its weight. Before I take that plastic off, let's remember that that's one of his bats. That will always be there. But now the plastic's coming off. There goes the sticker. I'll put that back in the bag for the owner. And I'll re-weigh this. So pro player would just probably take this out and start using it. 293. Alright, turn it around and we'll bounce the ball on it and you'll see the ball fly all over the place. So, as usual, start off with a 4-piece. An old one, as you can see there. It's lovely and soft. So it hasn't got the life pressed out of it. And you can just hear that pretty much. Everywhere. Even up high it's got something to offer with that spine travelling all the way up through to the handle. So I'm not sure why he would have rejected it. Maybe it's just because it's not the most brilliant looking piece of willow to a, you know, players can be finicky about all these different things, you know, if it's got too much spec or whatever, that you can become a little bit superstitious as to how it's going to play. One thing you can see immediately before I bounce the Duke is, if you look closely, those grains are pretty straight running through the toe. Not quite as straight as that other bat we had, the Bradbury, but pretty straight anyway. How many were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So again, between 8 and 10 grains is what you're looking at for an actual player's bat. Bouncing the Duke. Yeah, it's quite easy. I mean, with that weight, it's much easier for me to control with those 212 bats. Sometimes I miss them and edge them straight at the camera. But yeah, this is a really nice bat. Slight seam marks left in it. So yeah, very nice. So what you've got there is a bat that was made for Murali Vijay. Typical signs, no branding, edging already applied, really rough toe and that stupid texture in the bottom. I guess somebody could try and emulate that, but I mean that's just come straight out of the factory packaging as you saw there. And yeah, very nice indeed. So there you go, Murali Vijay Players bat, 293. So I'm thinking this is something he would use at test level. Thanks very much. And if you want a bat like that, why don't you contact John O'Knight. He's on Cricket Buy and Sell on Facebook. And I know he gets these through from time to time, and they're quite reasonable in price. Thanks guys.